Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Sunday and welcome back to Yield Weekly Home Fragrance Roundup. Typically, I actually upload this video on Saturdays. However, yesterday I opted to share a Bath & Body Works mostly candle haul. So if you missed that and you're interested, I'll go ahead and link that video in the description box down below. Also in the description box right below this video here, I will put links for any of the candles that I'm showing in today's video. Also down there are some discount codes if you want to save a little bit of money. There are links to some videos that you might be interested in checking out. For example, if you don't know what a candle crock or a candle lamp is, or how to use those, or how to decide which one to pick, there's a whole video dedicated to that topic. So there's quite a bit of information in the description box. So always check that out if you have any questions. You might honestly be able to find your answer down there a little bit faster than maybe I'm able to get back to you in the comments. But yeah, without further ado, you guys, let's get into this week's weekly home fragrance roundup. There is much to discuss, quite honestly. I focused a lot this week on really digging into the new Cringle Reserve candles, and I look at the dent that I have put in the Japanese maple alone. So I really wanted to begin getting out some in-depth reviews of these. I know a lot of you were asking me some questions in terms of strength and throw, things like that. So I'm going to give you guys some initial information in the weekly home fragrance roundup here, but I am also going to begin uploading in-depth reviews of these because like I said, I am pretty far. Hi. Oh, look who's reporting to work a little earlier than usual. Alf has arrived, everyone. Alf, you want to say hello? If you're new here, this is Alphonse, or Alfie. He is my beloved loyal companion and pug. So he likes to hang out in the background of my videos usually. So if you're ever watching and maybe you have your earbuds in and you're thinking, who's snoring? Who's snorting? Who's breathing really loud? Does Melanie have breathing problems? It's not me. My breathing's actually pretty good. I mean, I have asthma, but my breathing's pretty good. It's this guy. So he's super cute. And yeah, he just, I don't know. He's my assistant. He helps me out and he's cute. So I'll let him do whatever he wants. All right, buddy, you're sitting on my sweater here. All right, there we go. Anyway, what was I talking about? You distracted me. You're so cute. You're so cute. Yes, you are. So yeah, for example, the, what is this? The apple brandy. Look at this. I am like well past the halfway point of this one. So I'm really excited to begin reviewing these for you guys. I've honestly immensely enjoyed burning these this week. There was also, I also had a casualty. So the, mid-autumn moss, I shared this over on Instagram, but I went to go pick that one up earlier this week to be able to, or was it even, I think it might have been last week. I can't remember. More of the story is I friggin' dropped it. So I went to go light it up, but I grabbed it at the top here and I had just applied hand lotion and it slipped out, and the lid came off really easy for some reason. And it went to the ground and it completely shattered. So I tried to salvage it. My friend Fiona from over at Wax and Facts on Instagram told me how to try to fix the candle. However, the way that it broke made it kind of hard to get it out of the remainder of the glass without cutting myself, and I couldn't find Craig's like thick leather gloves. And so I had a pretty close call with accidentally like stabbing myself with a huge shard of the glass. Now, luckily I missed, but after that I was like, I think I'm just gonna have to unfortunately let this one go. So I'm not gonna be able to review the mid-autumn moss for you guys. I'm really sorry. I feel really bad. These were sent to me in PR, so I hate that I can't follow through on that. But yeah, there was just no way for me to get it out of the jar. And after that close call, I was kind of like, okay, I'm done. Like, I don't even want to melt it at this point, so I had to let it go. Anyway, the rest of these I will do in-depth reviews of, so stay tuned. Those are coming this next week, but we'll discuss these a little bit more in depth when we get to that part of the video. I want to go ahead and get started first though with what I am burning and what I have in my candle crocks around the house right now. I actually only have one. Yeah, the one in the upstairs hallway is still going. I was like, is it? It is. So I have one candle lamp that I'm using right now. I might not be using my candle lamps a whole lot over the next couple of weeks. I just don't really have any candles that I like feel the need to put under there, if that makes sense. So, but I am actively using my crocks. So let's go ahead and see what I have going in my crocks and my candle underneath the one candle lamp that I am using right now, and then let's come back here and let's start discussing some of these candles in depth. So, all right, here in the entryway, I am probably on my last burn of my first HomeWorx Harvest Leaves of 2024. I still consider this my favorite, like all-time favorite ever. HomeWorx fragrance. I picked this one up for the first time when HomeWorx first like got its start over on QVC back in 2017. And ever since then, every single fall, I have burned through multiples of Harvest Leaves. I even enjoy this one around Christmas time as well. It's so good. If you've never tried it, highly, highly recommend. On the kitchen island, I am currently burning HomeWorx Spiced Apple Crumb, which smells exactly like apple crumble from Bath and Body Works from back in the day. I think it actually was Harry that developed the apple crumble fragrance for Bath and Body Works. I feel like that timing makes sense in my head. I still have one of the apple crumbles left, like in that beautiful bright green wax. I think I'm gonna go ahead and burn it this fall. I've been hanging on to it for quite some time, and I think it's honestly time just to, you know, enjoy it. But yeah, the two fragrances smell almost identical to my nose. So yeah, I could see Harry having a very similar fragrance in his lineup as well now with HomeWorx. And I love this one. It is absolutely delicious. It's that amazing like apple pie filling with that delicious like crumble or like streusel topping. Oh, it's so good. I honestly cannot get enough of this one. It smells delightful. So I'm actually burning that spiced apple crumb alongside salted maple pumpkin from Cringle. This one is new from Cringle this year for fall 2024. I really like this one. It's hard for me to get into maple and caramel fragrances because a lot of times I think they're just a little too sweet, even for my liking. But this one here is so well done, and honestly, it pairs beautifully alongside the spiced apple crumb. So if you have both, I would highly recommend pairing them together, but they're great on their own as well. So let's go ahead and check out what is going in my crocks right now. Okay, we're in the laundry room. It might be kind of loud in here because I do currently have a load of laundry going. Listen, it's a working laundry room. It's not just for looks. In the crock in here, I have the Country Candle Merlot Vines fragrance, which is new for fall 2024. I really like this fragrance a lot. But I only had about, let's see, I can pick this up because the wax is pretty low on this one. I had about maybe like a third of the wax left. I decided to go ahead and just pop it into the crock because, I don't know. I thought it might be a good kind of like consistent background fragrance in the back part of the house here. And that's what it's been. I will say the fragrance out of this one is dissipating a little bit more quickly than they normally do out of my country candles. This one has been in here for just about a week now, And I'm definitely starting to smell that the fragrance is fading pretty rapidly. So I think I might keep this one in here for like another day or two. By the way, I keep my Crocs on 24/7. I do not turn them off at night. I just let them go. So this has definitely been going for 24 hours a day since I popped it in here. But typically I get a little bit more life out of this much wax, if that is the amount that I have left in the jar to melt, if that makes sense. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take you guys upstairs where it's a little bit more quiet. This is the candle lamp that is at the top of the stairs. And underneath this lamp, I have been warming the Root Candle Pinot Noir fragrance for several weeks now. And I think I'm definitely on the last melt session here. You can see this wax is completely liquefied to the bottom there, and I'm really not smelling very much anymore. So I think it's time to retire this one. I will use the remainder of this wax in a fire starter that I'm working on right now. If you are curious about what I do with my leftover wax, like I always say, check the description box. There's a video that I have linked down there that shows you what I choose to do with the extra wax. That doesn't mean that, you know, what I do is what you're going to want to do with it, but it's just an idea. So at any rate, I've really enjoyed this one. I don't know if Root still makes this particular fragrance, but if you want something that's very similar, I would say Merlot or California Cab from Cringle would definitely be worth checking out. Yeah, I'm glad I found this. It was one of those candles that I had squirreled away just in a random cabinet in the house here. So I'm glad that I, you know, finally got to enjoy it, and it has melted perfectly. Root Candle does use a beeswax blend, which is a lot harder than other types of waxes, I feel like. And it has had no problem melting underneath this candle lamp. So yeah, anyway, glad to have finally finished this one up, and let's move on to the last two crocks. All right, this is the candle crock that is in my master bedroom, and in here I have Yankee Candle Pumpkin Wreath. This is in the paraffin formulation, and as you can see, this jar is full to the brim of wax here. Otherwise, I would lift it up and show you the label, but yeah, really love this fragrance. I just don't love paraffin wax, so that's why I'm melting this. Pumpkin Wreath was discontinued a while ago at Yankee, but I still had a ton of backups that I purchased at the outlet that used to be down in Woodburn here in Oregon. That outlet closed a while ago, which major bummer, but I feel like a lot of Yankee candle stores and even outlets are going the way of the dodo, and that's super disappointing. I will be trying Yankee again, either for the fall or holiday season. I haven't decided. I know that I need to get some more of my cranberry chutney because it's been a little while since I've really been able to enjoy that. So if anything, I'll be picking up some cranberry chutney, but I do have a couple of fragrances in my cart. Just waiting to place my order. So yeah, you guys will be seeing something from Yankee in the near future, but I do definitely miss my time with Yankee Candle. I really reviewed a lot of their candles, back, you know, between 2010 and like 2015, somewhere around there. But I just really started kind of getting away from paraffin, and I do now realize that they have a different formulation that they offer as well. So when I do go back to Yankee, I will be skipping the paraffin candles and we'll be trying the, it looks like it's some kind of probably like vegetable blend wax. So anyway, let's move on to the last candle crock. This is the candle crock that is in the very back bedroom of our house upstairs. And in here, I decided to put Cringle Thirst, which is a Halloween fragrance for 2024. It was actually a new fragrance for 2024. Listen, the scent itself, love it, very perfumey. I just recently reviewed it. But in that review, I mentioned that it was quite light in terms of strength and throw. Let me tell you where it is not quite so light in terms of strength and throw, and that is when you put it into a candle crock. Oh my gosh, this almost took over the entire upstairs of the house, especially earlier this week when I first plopped it in. It to the point where Craig was like, how much perfume is Stella putting on before she goes to school? He literally thought that like our daughter had over applied like perfume before heading out to school one morning. Like it was that strong. It wasn't Stella, it was Thirst. So if you have Thirst and you're really kind of struggling with the strength and throw of it, I'm telling you, just put it in a crock. Again, I do leave my Crocs going 24/7. It's not nearly as potent now towards, you know, the latter part of the weekend here, but I can still smell it quite potently. So I think I'll have at least another week with this one, of fragrance output, and that's fine by me. I really like the scent, but I do think they need to work on the strength and throw for next year. And that's everything that was happening in terms of Crocs and lamps this week. I hope you guys enjoyed that little tour of what's currently burning and melting around the house. Smells pretty good in here, if I do say so myself. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the candles that are going into my empties bin, because I did finish some candles this week. So let's start there. The first one I'm going to mention is the Candy Apple Craze from Above Average Candle Studio. So I finally shared my in-depth review of my first 4 candles from Above Average Candle Studio, or Above Love Candles. That review I will go ahead and link in the description box down below. I also have another PR package that OG was nice enough to send my way with some more fragrances from this company. So I hope to share that haul early this next week as well, so stay tuned for that. But I really enjoyed my experience with these candles. Now, in my in-depth review of these, I did mention that these are far too small to really have much of an impact in the downstairs of my house. These are only 1-wick candles, and they are 6 ounces. So obviously, you know, there's only so much fragrance output that you're going to get of a candle of this size. But I will say they did quite well in the upstairs master bedroom, where I burned them the bulk of my time that I was burning these. They did fine up there. So if you are in a different house situation than what I'm in here, so maybe you have lower ceilings, maybe you have smaller rooms, maybe your house isn't quite as open concept as mine, you're probably going to do a lot better with these in terms of strength and throw than I did in the downstairs of my house. But I really enjoy burning these in the bedroom, so I'm super excited to smell through these other fragrances. I still have not opened the box because I want to be able to do a first sniff impressions with these, just like I did with my first round. So, but I've really enjoyed my experience with these candles. I just want to make sure that you guys are abundantly aware, though, that in terms of strength and throw, I don't get much from these in the downstairs of my house. But if you are interested in getting a larger size of any of these fragrances from Above Love, you can actually reach out to them, and they'll probably be able to help you out. So anyway, big fan. And again, I also like the little details here, like the charms and stuff that she includes on her candles. I think they're just fantastic. So the owner of Above Love is also just a lovely human being. So anyway, let's keep going. I have the cranberry cocktail from HomeWorx here. Obviously, I took the label off. It's really easy to take these HomeWorx labels off if you don't like the way they look. I just score them with a knife or something up the side. They're just shrink wrapped on, so there's no glue or anything. Anyway, this is what a candle looks like when it ends its life. From underneath a candle lamp. So with lamps, you are pouring off layers of wax as you are melting them, because you're obviously melting from the top down versus like melting everything at once in a candle crock. So candles can look kind of funky, but you can see those wicks laying in the bottom there. So this was my very last melt session. This was all the wax that was left. I actually can't smell any fragrance in this wax anymore. Like, all of the smell has kind of come out of these candles. I did try to pour the last little bit of wax out into a, I like to make candle starters for the, not candle starters, fire starters for the fireplace that is in our backyard. So I will reuse a lot of wax that way. But anyway, I tried to pour some of this wax out. I didn't get it all out. It had already kind of started to harden by the time that I went to like go pour it in my little thing that I use. But anyway, moral of the story is I really like this fragrance. It's a nice fresh cranberry scent. I don't think it's one of those fragrances that I would be like super inclined to repurchase if I saw it again. It's a nice cranberry scent, but it was kind of a one and done for me. I picked this up last holiday season. Yeah, this was from 2023. So anyway, for what it's worth, I finished it, and it lived most of its life in the kitchen. But the last few days that I was melting it, I moved it into my office because I also got a Scentsy order in, and I got some new warmers, and there was a, wait until you guys see this leaf warmer. It is stunning. I have all the stuff sitting over here, so I will film a Scentsy haul this next week as well. I finished the HomeWorx Cinnamon Vanilla. I love this. And listen, it is available now. When I first filmed the review, I didn't realize that it was available on the Rakuten & Co. website again already. But I didn't actually buy this. My friend Fiona gifted this to me, and she gifted it to me either last year or very early on in 2024. Fiona is one of my Instagram friends. She's Wax and Facts. Anyway, we discovered that we actually live literally right down the street from each other after we were chatting a little bit one day, and that was fantastic because now I have a candle friend that lives close by, and Fiona and I will trade candles back and forth, which is fabulous. Highly recommend having a candle friend close by. Anyway, she, I think, bought this in a set of 2 from QVC or something like that, and then she burned one and gifted me one. I love this. It's so boring. It's not like a super special kind of fragrance. It's pretty straightforward, but it is delicious, and I want more. So when I go to order my HomeWorx like Christmas candles this year, because I get to do that, I whittled down my HomeWorx holiday collection to the point where I think I only have like 1 or 2 holiday candles on backup from HomeWorx. It's not enough. So I will actually get to order some candles from HomeWorx this year. If you are new here, I've been on a little bit of a like whittling down my collection journey for quite some time here on my channel. Listen, home fragrance is my hobby. I love it. But it got to the point where my hobby was taking over like all areas of the house. Like I would open up a cabinet like in my office and find candles. I would open a drawer, you know, somewhere in the upstairs of the house and find a candle. Like it got to the point where I was squirreling them away different places because the areas where I was storing them, I ran out of room. So I'm kind of past that point, at least for right now. Who knows? I could revert back to the old ways, but as of right now, I feel really good about whittling down my candle collection. So I worked really hard to get through a lot of my HomeWorx holiday candles at the end of like last Christmas. So this Christmas I get to order some, which is exciting. Okay, another HomeWorx candle that sorry about that. I had to readjust a little bit here. Alf was making my foot fall asleep. Okay, this is Autumn Pine Cone from the All Through the House collection. This was a part of a TSV trio from back in 2018. And this came with Harvest Leaves, a kettle corn scent, and then this Autumn Pine Cone. I ordered many of these trios. Now I burned through all the Harvest Leaves. I went through all of the kettle corn. Honestly, a few of the kettle corns I definitely gifted out because it was quite a sweet fragrance. I think I might still have, no I don't have any left. I was thinking maybe I would have like 1 or 2 left. I don't have any left, but I did have this Autumn Pine Cone left here. And I was a little bit bummed when I realized that I actually do really like this scent. It's a little bit more perfumey, and while I tolerated it in the past, it definitely wasn't my favorite. But it turns out now that my nose and my tastes have kind of evolved and changed over the last several years, I actually really like this scent. So that was a mistake on my part, but you live and learn. I know that the friends who I gave the Autumn Pine Cone to thoroughly enjoyed it. They told me that they did. So Yeah, my bad for giving those away. Makes me really hesitant, honestly, to want to give away other candles that don't really float my boat right now, because I'll probably start enjoying them a couple years from now. That's just, I think that's just the way things work for me. Okay, we have an empties from Cringle as well, you guys, and guess which one it is? It's Kittens and Cashmere. So here's the thing, I was burning this one both in the downstairs powder room, but I was also bringing this outside at night when Craig and I were sitting in the backyard by our fireplace. This is a very, this fragrance reminds me a lot of Sweater Weather from Bath and Body Works. My friend Katie had made that comparison. I believe she was the first one to say that, and she's pretty spot on with that. I do think this smells very similar. It's a very fresh fragrance, but it just smelled so good outside during the kind of slightly cooler nights that we've been having here in Oregon, since the fall has kind of started to make an appearance around here. And it just was lovely. I liked it honestly a lot more outside, because I think it just made sense with, you know, like we had the fire going out there, and then the fresh notes from this were just a really interesting combination. But I also liked this as a bathroom fragrance as well. Now, is this one where I would want like a backup of it? Not necessarily. It's still not the type of fragrance that I naturally gravitate towards, at least at this time, but I did actually enjoy this one, and I didn't expect to. And you guys, it burned incredibly well. Look at that, like no issues the whole way down. Nice clean burn. This stuff that you see here is just residue of the soy wax. It'll stick to the sides. So yeah, but a really nice clean burn, and a great fresh scent if that's your thing. Okay, some other candles that I was burning this week. Let's talk about some Bath and Body Works. Oh, do you guys remember these? I'm about to take it back a few years here. Look at these cute little mason jars. I forgot I had these. These were hiding in one of the drawers where I actually also store makeup. So that's what I'm talking about, like how I would just like squirrel things away different places, and then I'd forget about them. And then, you know, it was always kind of fun to like discover things. Obviously, don't get me wrong, like this was a very pleasant surprise, but yeah, I totally forgot that I had these because I just put them in that random drawer. So what are these? These are the Blackberry Bramble Tea mason jars from, what was the year? Were these 2014? I think these were from 2014, which is nuts. This is a long time ago. Is that that's a decade. Man. Also, I moved these from my old house and they actually survived the move. Yeah, so, oh, Blackberry Bramble Tea. I will never understand why they didn't bring this fragrance back. This is absolutely delightful. What are the notes? Gosh, this was still when they were doing the cute little stories. Oh, I miss the olden days. Okay, the art of tea. Sweet and fragrant blackberries combine with a hint of sugar and spice. Take a cup and saucer to new heights. So cute. I do miss the mason jars. I thought these were really sweet. I really like the packaging on these. And I love the fragrance. Bring it back. Why are you not bringing this back, Bath and Body Works? They have so much potential in terms of fragrances that they could bring back that I know people would just go absolutely gaga over. And I don't know why they refuse to bring them back. But they like repeat like mahogany teak wood in 1,000 different ways over and over again. And who is buying it? I mean, obviously I think it's selling because, you know, otherwise they wouldn't keep making it. But who is buying mahogany teak wood? Raise your hand if you're that one person. I'm gonna take your credit card away. I'd rather have this than mahogany teak wood, but that's obviously a personal preference thing. So, all right, pumpkin apple. All right, this is my scary one. I never did exchange this one, but you know what? It's It's doing okay. So I was afraid that it was going to be too close, and it is. I do still think it's too close to the center. Look at this wick. It's like, whoop, right next to the glass here. So I am watching this one very carefully. I'm only burning this one for a couple of hours at a time. Fortunately, it's a really strong performer, and so I usually only need a couple hours with it, and then it also tends to linger. Did I say what this is? It's the pumpkin apple. But yeah, this wick here, this wick placement, no, this is not good. My bad for not exchanging it, but I just didn't feel like driving down to the store. So anyway, yeah, I love this fragrance. I just bought another one of these. I love this scent so much. So yeah, I think this is one of their best like transitional fragrances, especially since they refused to give us autumn this year. So if you're looking for a good fall transitional fragrance that's not too overly pumpkin-y or overly spicy or anything like that, something that's maybe a little bit more fresh and apple-based, this is a great option. Also, leaves. I love me some leaves, you guys. This one used to give me such a headache when I burned it for more than like an hour or two, but because these Bath & Body Works candles are a lot less potent these days, I can burn leaves for like usually 3 hours very easily and not get a headache from it. It's such a great scent. I also really like the hand wash in the leaves fragrance. In fact, my hand wash that was delivered with my order, turns out got crushed in the order and leaked all over the bag. It was a mess. It was a mess. I'm gonna take that back to Bath & Body Works and exchange it for another one because, yeah, it took me forever to get the soap out of my carpet. So it had leaked in the bottom of the box and I didn't realize, and I didn't open the box right away because I wanted to do a first sniff impression style video, but I didn't have time to film. I was doing some other stuff. So that box was just sitting over here on the carpet with that leaves hand wash just soaking into the carpet. The water was very foamy. Carpet smells great. I tell you what, it smells like leaves in here, but I was a little annoyed that I had to clean up that mess. All right, back to the candles. This is Forest Blackberry from Bath & Body Works. I reviewed this one last weekend. So I will say, I don't know why this wax is on the side here. I think I picked this up and moved it while it was still solidifying because that was not here before. I think I accidentally sloshed some of the wet wax around. Listen guys, this is a great, like, it's a sweet blackberry fragrance, but it's not overly sweet. It's just a really lovely fall take on blackberry. I will say this one had some trouble getting going for me. If you're interested in it, go watch my review just so you can make an informed decision about whether you potentially want to deal with waiting for this one to kind of like really get going. It took me probably 2 full 2.5 3-hour burns to really get this one to get going. And that's a lot of hours to wait for something to kick in. But now that it has kicked in, it smells great. I love the scent, but I just want you to be aware that it was like a slow starter for me. So anyway, really enjoy that fragrance, enough to where I might consider popping another one in my cart when I place my holiday order. I really do love the fragrance, and I'm hoping that maybe I just got like a one-off dud or something, but let me know what your experience was with the Forest Blackberry if you picked it up. So next, let's move on to the Cringle candles. So this is Cringle Warm and Toasty. I am still nursing the last little bit of my original one here. I placed an order at Cringle, and they're really behind, you guys. I know a lot of people are getting frustrated that their orders have not shipped. Cringle has a really small shipping department. I really wish that they could expand it, but I don't know that they can find enough people to staff it, to be honest, or I don't know what the issue is, but I know that they have a small shipping department. I know that they work incredibly hard to get the orders out, but they had some really great sales in recent weeks, and I think they're really struggling to keep up with it. So I don't know, I'm gonna give them grace because, you know, I still have a lot of candles anyway, but I mean, I would love to get my my warm and toasty, but I'm just gonna nurse this one until the other one arrives. So, but anyway, I do want to recognize that a lot of you are waiting for orders. I'm waiting for an order that I placed as well. It just kind of, I don't know, it is what it is. It is a bummer, but if you have any questions about where your order is, you can always reach out to their customer service, but do know that they're working really hard. There has been quite a lot of chatter in the Cringle Candle groups about people not getting their orders in a timely manner. Some people are patient about it, some people are not. I try to give a little bit more grace because, quite frankly, I have enough around me here to keep me busy anyway, so yeah. But I also understand that if you are going to take people's money right away, you know, you need to let them know, like, hey, we are a little bit behind. Your order may be delayed by, you know, 5 or 6 days or whatever. I think it might be good for them to be able to at least inform people of, you know, the status of their orders, like, oh, it's coming up here soon, or, you know, whatever. So anyway, all that aside, I love me some warm and toasty, and I cannot wait to get my backup because I love this one so much. This has this really interesting, like, smoky cedar note that I don't think is going to be for everybody, but I love this. I actually like this better now than Marshmallow Fireside. I still love Marshmallow Fireside, don't get me wrong, but this, I love it. I love it so much. Okay, let's start talking about some of these Cringle Reserve fragrances. I'm going to get started with the PSL, the Pumpkin Spice Latte. Okay, I love this one. This one has been giving me a really good performance in terms of strength and throw. That's not necessarily the case for all of these, so stay tuned. But this one here, solid performance in terms of strength and throw. Definitely what I'm used to from Reserve. And I love the coffee note in here. Like, it is the perfect, like, not bitter, like, such a balanced cup of coffee type of fragrance. It's so good. And then those pumpkin pie spices just blend in perfectly. And then you have this gorgeous creamy vanilla that runs throughout. This is delightful. I love this scent. I hope this sticks around forever in the Reserve line. So, so good. So really good performance there. Let's talk Japanese maple, because here's the thing. I love this fragrance. You guys, this is so light. I am not used to this type of performance from a Reserve candle at all. It's to the point where even though I love this fragrance so much, I cannot wholeheartedly, like, recommend or endorse this particular one. It barely fragrances the downstairs powder room, which is such a small, it's such a small bathroom, you guys. If you watch my Decorate With Me series, I think I actually show that bathroom in the, like, in the entryway decorating video. So if you're curious about just how small that room is, like, this barely filled that room, and that's nuts. And what sucks is it's such a great scent. It's such a beautiful fragrance. The notes on this one are fir, citrus, patchouli, wood, moss, and amber. Like, especially with that patchouli, with that amber, those are usually quite potent fragrance notes for Cringle, and it's barely detectable. Like, I kind of feel like something went wrong here. Like, it's that light. So I do still have, obviously, some of it. I've been burning it. I've been burning this for hours, just kind of waiting for, like, a fragrance pocket to hit or something, and it never has. So I'm all the way down to here. I'm gonna burn this one one more time to review it for you guys. Like, for the actual review, I'll light it for that. But then I'm gonna try to pop this into a candle crock for the last little bit of its life here to see if I can get anything from it, because right now I'm not getting a whole lot. I'm really disappointed because I loved the scent. I loved it so much. I actually had another one in my cart, but after I started seeing, like, how it just was not hitting a fragrance pocket at all, I went ahead and took it out of my cart. So, I mean, if you're looking for subtle, She will give you subtlety, but I don't think you guys are looking for subtlety. Those of you that watch my channel, I'm assuming your preferences are a little bit more in line with mine, where we like our fragrances to be maybe a little bit more noticeable. Some of us like to smack you in the face. Some of us like a little bit of subtlety, but I don't think anyone that watches my channel is going to think, yes, this is so light that it's perfect for me. I love all of the light fragrances. It's way too light. No, but let me tell you what it's not, and that is apple brandy. This one is quite potent. And on cold sniff still, I smell that boozy brandy note, but I tell you what, when this is lit, I just do not smell it. It disappears. It's like it burns off with the flame. And personally, I love that. There's a little tiny hint of it still remaining, but most of that like alcohol boozy note, it seems to burn off for me when I light this one. I think those of you that want that boozy note to stick around might be disappointed by how muted it is once you actually light this fragrance. But if you don't like that boozy note, but you're looking for a really interesting apple scent, this one is great. I really like this one. And as you can tell, I've been burning it like it's my job. It's so good. So this is apple brandy spice sweet and wood. It's really, really delicious. So this is another one that's definitely ready for a review. This one here, I'm not quite ready. As you can see, I am still kind of getting going with this one, but I do really like it. This one is a little bit more of a masculine type of scent. This is the Sunflower and Suede. There's a really nice leathery note that runs through this one. It's definitely a lighter leather note, not like a heavy, like mahogany leather note, but really pleasant. There's a little bit of like a sweetness to this one as well. Oh, it's so pretty. So the notes in here are floral, suede, bergamot, saffron, rose, nutmeg, and amber. There definitely is rose in here, but I don't think it's to the point where the rose is overwhelming. And there is another floral component as well, but it's not distinct. Like, I think the rose kind of makes it to where it's almost hard to tell what the other floral components are. But again, the rose isn't super overpowering, and it's such a nice pairing for that leathery note that's in here. I don't know, I really like this scent. If there were a cologne or like, you know, body spray type of situation for this fragrance, like I would love for my husband to smell like this one. This smells really, really good. It smells like a men's cologne to me. By perfumey, I mean cologne-y specifically with that one. This is another one. I want a perfume for myself in this fragrance. This is Smoke and Oak. This was another one where I burned it quite a bit this week. Sometimes these pop up. You can just stick them back on and there we go. Good to go. Back on. Oh, yes. I love it. This is kind of in the same family as Skull and Sonnet, which, by the way, I think Skull and Sonnet is back on the website. At least I saw it was at one point this week. So this is smoke, wood, bourbon, leather, amber, and fruit. This also has a leatheriness as well. Man, I love that amber in here. It's so good. There is a smokiness, but it's not a super intense, crazy smokiness. And the performance of this one is, it's perfect. No issues with strength and throw on this one. Yeah, the only one that really struggled in terms of strength and throw was definitely the Japanese maple, but the rest of these are pretty on par with what the usual performance is for the Cringle Reserve candles. Okay, let's move on to, okay, sorry, one more little readjustment. Alf actually ended up moving off to the side here, so I think he kind of got tired of me shifting him around. But all right, let's get to the last part of this video here. Oh, now he's gonna come back. All right, you have to get in my lap, don't you? Oh, you're gonna, okay, you're just gonna look at me lovingly. Oh, that's the best. I will take it. Okay, so let's discuss some Scentsy, and let's also discuss a little bit about, and there he is, a little bit about the Pura device. All right, about I think it was about 6 weeks ago now, I received a PR package from HomeWorx, and they were nice enough to send me the Pura system, one Pura device, in addition to, I think it was like garland berry, and then it's a holiday tree scent. I don't remember which one it was, sorry. But at the time that they sent that device, I had already been looking at the Pura device and had intentions of purchasing the system myself to be able to test it out and review it here on my channel. So I was incredibly thankful to HomeWorx for sending that out. But I also knew that in all likelihood, one device was not going to be enough to fragrance the downstairs of my house, not with the square footage that we have down here. So I went ahead and I still placed my own order with Pura directly to pick up another device. And then also I picked up several vials from different companies to be able to test out. One of the things that really intrigues me about the Pura system is that they have very strict standards for the fragrance companies that partner with them. So if you want to partner with Pura to offer, you know, vials of your fragrances to go with the device, you have to follow the standards that Pura has in place in terms of, you know, the performance of the product. So I just kind of wanted to see the consistency in terms of that. So I have some vials now from HomeWorx, from LAFCO, from I think Anthropology, as well as Nest, and then also Pura itself. So the Pura, you know, company itself also has their own kind of fragrance vials that you can pick through as well. There's a ton of options on the Pura website. Now, at the time that I ordered, I waited until there was a pretty good sale. So I got the Pura 4 and all of those vials for 25% off. So I started testing just one device this week, and I have 2 vials of the pumpkin chai from Nest going. I actually have not plugged in the one that HomeWorx sent to me. I just kind of want to see like this first week how just the one device does. So that one is in the kitchen, on the kitchen island, and I think next week I'll go ahead and plug in the one that HomeWorx graciously gifted to me. And then I'm gonna spend a couple of weeks, you know, testing the different vials, and then I wanna do an in-depth review for you guys and let you know whether I think this very, very expensive system is worth investing in or not. I've been curious about it for quite some time. I've kind of been chatting back and forth with Brett from over at Philly Candleman about Pura for a little while. So yeah, I'm very excited to, you know, finally test this out and let you guys know what my thoughts are. So yeah, I was really excited to find my favorite Nest holiday fragrances available through Pura already. So I went ahead and also picked up the Holiday and the Birchwood Pine, which if you've been following my my channel for a while, you know that those are like my 2 of my holy grails when it comes to holiday fragrances, specifically from Nest. So anyway, more to come in terms of Pura, but yeah, I'm very, very excited to finally test that system out. But let's talk about some Scentsy as well. Is it in? Yeah, okay. Sorry, I thought I had forgotten one, but it is in here. Okay, this one specifically. Okay, this is Bring Back My Bar Cranberry Muffin. I think this was a Bring Back My Bar from maybe a year or more ago, potentially. But I have a massive regret about not putting this cranberry muffin into my club when this was available, because I tell you what, this smells so good. And I loved it so much this week, and it was also the strongest performer. Not all of these wax melts did just fine, like they perform, you know, at their normal strength and throw level, but this one was a freaking powerhouse, and it also lasted days longer than what I'm normally used to in terms of like needing to change my Scentsy wax. I don't know if it's just because it was like sitting for like a year or two, but man, this was an absolute powerhouse. It is the most delicious cranberry muffin scent that I think I've ever smelled. It is heavenly. And I need it back. Please, bring this back for Bring Back My Bar voting Scentsy. I promise you that I will put it in my club. I will put multiple in my club. This is so good. I'm really bummed that I don't get to have more of that. Okay, this bar here was super juicy, so I kind of have to be careful with this one. This is cranberry orange cider, and does this smell good? Absolutely, but I don't know what caused this bar to like get juicy like this, but it does smell really good. There's almost just a hint of like a bubblegum note in this one that's really interesting to my nose, like just like a pink bubblegum. It's so interesting. But it's mostly like a really yummy cranberry orange concoction. Yeah, I really like this one. I don't remember, I think this was available last year. I feel like this was available last year. I don't sell Scentsy. I buy it from my best friend, Lisa. I love supporting her. So like I'm not the best historian when it comes to Scentsy. But if you're curious about when that actually came out, go ask my friend Lisa Roberry. She'll know. Stroopwafel Delight. Okay, this is in my club. This is, it's exactly what it says it is. It's a stroopwafel. You smell that amazing caramel note. This is caramel done right in my eyes. It is so good. But it's also that like waffle note as well. It is the perfect combination of the two. It's equal parts of both. It's not overly sweet. It's not like disgustingly cloying. It is just authentic and delicious. Man, and everything that I want in a fall fragrance. That's so good. That will never leave my club. It will never leave my club. Bright Cider Life. Okay, this is just a pretty typical like apple cider type fragrance. There's a little bit of pumpkin in here as well. This is a great scent. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about this one. It's pretty straightforward, but I've really been enjoying this one this week. And also I have here Dulce de Leche. Sorry, that one had a little bit of wax. Just kind of, I don't want to drop that on the carpet. Dulce de Leche, was this a Bring Back My Bar recently? I think it may have been. I don't like it when they don't identify like whether the you know, these came from Bring Back My Bar packaging or not, because this one here has a Bring Back My Bar sticker, but I feel like they're not really identifying the Bring Back My Bar bars anymore that way. So at any rate, I do really like this one. It smells, it's pretty light, but it does smell like a really delicious dulce de leche. So you've got that nice like creamy milky note. Got a little bit of cinnamon here. I like this one. It's great, but it is a little bit lighter. So I actually warmed this one in the upstairs. I also had this going in our master bedroom, and it was pretty nice in there as well. So it paired nicely with what I have going in the crock up there. But yeah, you guys, that's everything for this week. That is everything that I was burning, that I was melting, that I was puraing, if you will. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what you are burning and melting in the comments down below. A big thanks to Elf for reporting to work a little bit earlier today than he has been in the past. And we hope that you guys have a great rest of your weekend, right, buddy? All right, we will see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.